It's just an error from RampenguNation, and I just got back from YCS Charlotte, and I placed like 8-3. I didn't really actually check like my placing, but I made day 2 and I lost the last round of Swiss round 11, which kind of sucked. It would have been really cool to top, you know, because I'd have been like the only Feminine to top the event. And I actually think this was like a really good deck to bring to the event because it was the only deck that can Zeus your opponent, play Draco, Phoenix Enforcer, play Brave cards, and have a searchable way to Brave cards too, and Scythe your opponent. No other deck in the format could do that effectively except like the 3-access deck, like the Singh deck, but I don't even think that deck is like that good because then your extra deck's way worse because you can't play your Singh heroes. I think a lot of people like approach building Feminine incorrectly. Like they focus more on just like getting out like the level 3s to always get Cherubini with the extenders, but what they don't realize is like all your Feminines are all just like 1-card combos to Verte, with the exception of Torn Scales, which on its own is like a level 3 Cherubini combo. So I'll go over like the PKs and like why I played each of them. So I played 3 Torn Scales, 3 Silent Boots, 2 Cloak, 1 Gloves. That's like pretty like weird and like a low count of Phantom Knights because a lot of people still play what is it called? Stained Greaves, but I've noticed that Greaves was like the worst one to open, so I never wanted to play because it just adds another brick to my deck. So the whole point of my deck was like I was just minimizing bricks so I could make all those cards either hand traps or just other different cards. So that's why I only settled on 2 Fogblade and 1 Shade Brigadier. I think this was correct. The 3rd Fogblade never comes up and you never ever really want to open it, but you need 2 because you can always end on 2 because of Rusty or whatever, and then Scales can pitch one that you search that make an extender for our level 3, and you could just win the game off 1, because if they try to droplet Phoenix Enforcer, you can just chain Fogblade, chain Phoenix Enforcer, and you dodge droplet. So yeah, that was it for my like Feminine engine. So you're like, okay, it's like a really small Feminine deck then, but the reason why is because I played a lot of like going second cards. So it's for the Brave engine then, I played 3 Aquamancer, 1 Griffin Rider, 3 Rights, 1 Faithful, 1 Draco Phoenix. This is all like pretty standard. The only thing I thought of playing differently was the 2nd Faithful because if you open it, it's still like a nice like level 3 or guaranteed way to write to make Verte, or you can just use like an extra one like post write. Like if you open 2, it's like if you open 1 with write, it's fine because then you get the 2nd one. Or I can just re-grab your Griffin if it gets like ogred. So it just makes your grind like way better. But I didn't think it was necessary because I was scything my opponent. So that's all the Brave engine. Then for the like extenders that I played in the deck. So I played 3 Italy, 1 Roto, 1 Foolish. I don't think you need to play any more than this because Italy itself is an extender because you can special out Ogre from your deck. I don't play Tracker or Wielder because I think they're unnecessary, like I said. I don't want to play any like pseudo cards that do anything. Roto and Foolish are the best one-ups in the deck because this can grab Scales or Boots depending on the scenario. This can dump Enchantress or Cloak depending on the scenario. So that's it for the extender spells. Then the Fusion Destiny package is pretty standard, like Celestial Dasher. Oops, that's not Dasher. I mean, that's not Celestial. Yeah, Celestial. So Fusion Destiny, Dash Celestial, pretty self-explanatory. Then the 1 Scythe, because this deck is a Scythe deck. Alright, and then now the whole reason why I think this deck was still fine and why I don't think people build this deck like I think they should is the hand traps. Everybody's just playing extenders, but I think this is the bare bones engine you need. So for my hand traps, I played 3 Nib, pair this with another hand trap, it's really good. 3 Gamma. This could have arguably been Valor, but I just wanted like the most high impact hand trap possible that could hit like a kid. So this one could also hit a kid with Ash, that's why I like this one more. And also sometimes you could trigger on your tank as a Foolish and Roto and stuff like that, but yeah, Gamma, that's why I made it. Also it's an E-Tele target just for very safe. 3 Ash, I think it's pretty normal. 3 Ogre, good for hitting Faithful, and then 2 Bell. I liked Bell over Valor because this can hit like Bow Wow and other guys, but also it's a level 3 that can make Cherubini, which was pretty nice. Then I played 1 Lancia. So the theory behind playing 1 Lancia is that you can ask them for their main deck count, and if they say 40, then you can make a good read that they're playing Plunder, and instead of setting Scythe, you'll just set Lancia. Now obviously like a lot more people are coming back down to 40, so I might just go back to just siding it. And then the card that I hated in my deck the most was just like the 3 Forbidden Droplet. I just wish this was just like more hand traps, because the scenarios in way you think this card would be good is just not that good. And then you're already pitching 2 cards at your hand usually, for Faithful and Scales. So looking back on it, I just probably wouldn't play this card. And I would just main probably like another set of hand traps activate at least. So that's it for the main deck. Extra deck, Phoenix Enforcers, normal. Zeus, normal. 2 break stars, never made the second one. I shouldn't have played the second one. I'll tell you what I'll cut that for. And then Downer, that's standard. And then Lovier, just an extender to make more stuff in your graveyard. Lets you do a cool dagger to play with it too, because you bring back Cloak target itself. Access code for kill, Unicorn makes sense. Rusty for setting. Verte, only played one, that was a mistake. I wish the break star was the second Verte. The second break star was the second Verte. But it never really costed me a game, but that's what I definitely should have done. Stark, best runner in the game right now. Second is Lina. Dagda, this card's insane. If you can resolve its set side through just winning the game usually. Cherubini, I love this card. This is always the main appeal of the deck because it can search out Enchantress or just a PK piece. 1 Mirage, 1 Link Spider. These two make sense. You need Ali if you open any the Phantom Knights to be able to make Verte. And then Link Spider obviously with Shade and just no tokens. That's it for the extra deck. I just use the generator tokens as Brave tokens because they're fairies and they're level 4, so that was kind of cute. Alright, and then finally for the side deck, 3 Collector, Sword Soul, Brave Adventurer, and then this also hits like Prank Kids because it hits both the Pranks engine and the Adventure engine, so I really liked this card. Might consider maining it. You could also play like Rhino to dump it on the side, but I think that's unnecessary. The second and third Lancia. I think Lancia was just like powerful enough because I don't play Drill. I didn't really think it was that good against like a lot of decks. I just rather play the trade cards, and then Lancia is just good against like the Mirror Match and then like other than like Flunderies because I don't play Drill. The third Bella for Prank Kids, and then I played 1 Veil, 1 Imperm. These are debatable because of the Verte thing, but these are like so low impact that I only play them just for cross out. So yeah, that's another thing that I noticed a lot of people weren't playing is because you have to play a lot of hand traps to play cross out to just get the versatility of it. Twins instead of Storms because just to hit the map and the trap card against Flunder. Then 3 cross out. This card was insane, overperformed. I think this card should be mandatory in all heavy hand trap decks that play Brave cards because this card can trade with literally everything against any deck. Against base, I can trade with like their Brave engine, their Fusion Destiny engine, and then just their hand traps, hence making it very, very good. Definitely recommend this. And then the 1 Called By. I cited it because I just wanted more hand traps in the main. Shout outs to everybody who came on the trip and then went to YCS Charlotte. Shout out to Ophidian, shout out to +1 Gaming, my locals back home. Suck that bubble, would have been the only fan at the top, but just give me more motivation for Hartford. It's Justin from RampenguNation, and see you guys.